Well, the governor is the chief executive of his or her state, and they're tasked with maintaining safety and security for their constituents. And when you can't do that, it is a failure of the most basic concept of government. And that's what Minnesota Governor Tim Walz is accused of doing during the George Floyd riots of 2020. Walz stood back while violent radical leftists took the streets and burned a large swath of Minneapolis. His running mate, Kamala Harris, actually advocated for a bail fund to help those who were arrested during the riots and looting to get out of jail. Now, that tweet is still up somehow, but there's a way that people can send a message now to these radical politicians, and that is vote. Today is primary day in Minnesota, and it's an open primary, which means anyone can go out there and vote out radicals like Ilhan Omar, an ally of Tim Walz. And the American focus can be on Kamala Harris and Tim Walz later when they are up for election. Now, joining us now to talk to us is a Minneapolis resident who defended his liquor store from the looters in 2020. Tori Brimmer is here with us. Tori, great to have you here.
For having me.
Now, one of the questions I have for you is a city like Minneapolis, do you think it will ever recover from what happened in 2020?
Well, it's slightly recovered, but there's several businesses that did not rebuild. And I think there's an estimate that I believe was probably nearly 500 businesses that either got looted, destroyed, or literally burned to the ground in my neighborhood.
Now, Tim Walz has shown his support for Black Lives Matter by attending a protest. He wrote "Justice Now" for George Floyd. How much responsibility do you think he bears for what happened in Minneapolis that summer?
Well, to be honest with you, I think it's an absolute kind of a joke in a way that he didn't do anything to protect the neighborhood. He should have called in the National Guard the first night that all of this stuff started happening in my neighborhood. I mean, literally, I could feel the warmth of flames from 4-story buildings burning right next to my home. And the other thing that I still can't believe is that they abandoned the 3rd Precinct Police Department. And all of this just amazes me. What a terrible job I believe that he did in this whole situation.
It seems like Tim Walz is willing to do or say anything that is expedient politically in the moment. For example, here's a headline. Tim Walz repeatedly hosted a Muslim cleric who celebrated October 7th and shared a pro-Hitler website link. I think he called this person a master teacher. And I don't know if Tim Walz actually believes this stuff or if he supports October 7th, but it seems like he could do a better job of distancing himself from it.
Yeah, sometimes I just wonder about some of these people, and sometimes I don't really think I can even understand them. They just seem like they're just so out of touch with normal people. I mean, maybe that sounds strange, but they just seem out of touch.
I think it's by design, Tori, because if they actually talk to people like you, they would have to do the right thing, which would be detrimental to their political careers. And that's what they care about most, is themselves and their political careers. That's why what happened to Minneapolis was allowed to happen. Tori, we thank you for your time and sharing your story with us, and we hope more people are willing to do the same thing. Tori Brimmer, thank you.
Hey, thank you very much.